Brought to you by Mr. Pros TV, streaming from Tempe, Arizona. And we're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, Jordan Nielsen here, host of Real Estate Pros on Mr. Pros TV, and today we're in studio in Tempe, Arizona with the one and only Janet Rogers of the Janet Rogers Group at ProSmart Realty. Welcome to the show, Janet. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to join me here on Real Estate Pros.
Thanks for having me. It's going to be fun.
Awesome. So we'll give you an opportunity to introduce yourself to the audience for those that don't know who you are. A little bit of background on yourself, how long you've been in real estate, what interested you in getting into real estate, and then we'll go from there.
So I've been in real estate since 2002, and before that I worked as an admin for some law firms in downtown Phoenix. Did not enjoy that at all. So I thought I'd get into real estate. There was a guy that used to walk my neighborhood, and he used to deliver flyers all the time. So I thought, oh, it sounds like a great job. Yeah. So that's how I got into it. It was awesome. So, and plus, like people love showing houses, so perfect fit.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So you got into real estate. So how long have you been in real estate now?
Since 2002.
So since 2002, and obviously you've seen some changes in the market since you started until, well, what is the biggest difference between being a real estate agent back in 2002 and being a real estate agent in 2018?
Oh, great question. We have the internet.
Oh, internet is, changing lives.
Well, it's funny because when I first started in real estate, I thought, somebody told me, you need to get a website. So I got a website, and I'll never forget, my broker said, you have a what?
And so, what is a website?
I know. Well, you don't need that. Well, now everyone has a website.
Right.
So, yeah, technology is awesome. So it's completely different.
Right. And so starting off in real estate, I like to ask, this because, if a new agent's watching this, they're trying to figure out what they can do to sustain their business in real estate. Because one of the hardest things is starting from scratch, and making it to that 6-month, the 12-month mark, when on average, the average agent doesn't do a ton of deals during that time, but they have to really push hard. What did that first year look for you to be able to make it this far in real estate?
It was really challenging when I first got into real estate because they didn't have people, they didn't have mentors back then. They didn't have what they have now. So someone coming out of real estate, the best thing that they could do is really get connected with a good mentor, follow the scripts that are set because they work. Then get in touch with your sphere, your family, your friends, keep in great communication, just stay in front of people. Never lose the ability to talk to people. And that's what I do, and it works really well.
Right. So it's all about, building the relationships and connecting with people. Were there things that helped, like you mentioned, the flyer person, were there things that you did that helped build your sphere of influence? Actually, did you grow up here in Arizona?
Well, I've been here since I was 10,
so
you kind of grew up here.
Yeah, so you've been here. So you knew some people, but maybe your sphere of influence maybe wasn't huge, and you had to do activities to get more people to stay in contact with. So did you focus on open houses or door-to-door or cold calling? What were those activities that you did?
So I did a lot of cold calling in the beginning, and I lived in an apartment complex, so it was great for buyers.
Oh, yeah,
So I just talked to everybody in my apartment complex, and that's how I got my first buyer. So it worked really well. So I just would talk to people wherever I could find them. If you stood still long enough, you were going to talk to me.
Right. And then fast forwarding now to 2018, your business has changed a little bit recently. I know that you do flat fee. Is it a flat fee listing? I guess I'll give you the opportunity to introduce or talk about what your business looks like in 2018.
So in 2018, we decided to try the flat fee model. I think I see our industry going that way. And it's not a limited service flat fee. It is absolutely full service, just like any listing I've ever taken in the past. We do professional photos, of course, and, they get the full service. They get everything that we do at a 6% or 5% or whatever, percentage we would take it at. So, and that's the way we're going.
And for me, I think that's the kind of one of the biggest misconceptions. If you do flat fee, you're going to get poorer service.
It's flat fee, not flat service.
Right.
So that's the thing. And we almost have to work harder just so people understand, you're not getting just someone that's going to stick a sign in your yard and walk away and wait for the contract. We do open houses. We flyer the neighborhood. We talk to the neighbors. We cold call around that house. Whenever you list a house, 2 or 3 more hit the market, we still do that.
I guess agents may get in that market because if you're making only maybe half or whatever that percentage different, they think, oh, they don't have money to actually put into the listing to actually help it sell.
Right.
So you're saying that you still put in the money and the effort and everything else, just like one of your, if you're doing for 6%.
Absolutely. We do not discount our services at all. Not at all. And like I said, we have to work harder just so people understand we're not discounting the service. We're discounting what the seller pays.
Right.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. So, what was the thing that made you shift to this business model overall? I mean, obviously you just mentioned that you see that's where real estate going. Was there something saying, what, technology is this way, and what was the thought process behind it?
So one of the things when we go into a listing appointment, sellers really concerned about what they're going to net.
Right.
I mean, that's always their concern is what am I going to net? How much do you charge? That's really the biggest concern. So if you go in there and you prove that, listen, I'm going to give you value. This is my value proposition. I'm going to charge you a flat fee to sell your house, and you pay the buyer's agent, but it's a flat fee on my side. And if I bring the buyer myself, if Janet Rogers brings the buyer, there is no buyer fee.
Wow.
It is just the flat fee that they signed on for, period.
Wow. So it sounds like definitely could save a home seller a whole lot of money.
If you list a $400,000 house and we come in and we do the flat fee and I bring the buyer, I just saved the seller $21,000.
Wow.
Literally.
And that's only on a
$21,000.
$400,000 house. So if you're looking at something that $1 million or more, and with the flat fee service, is there caps on what's the fine print? Is there like?
Great question.
Yeah.
So it's $29.95 up to $600,000. At $600,000, it's slightly under 1%. And if somebody came to me and said, I have a $700,000, I want you to do it for the $29.95, I'll take care of all the advertising. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I mean, if they want to pay for the photos and do everything like that and pay for the additional cost to market the house, I mean, we'll tailor it to whatever we need to. Right.
And this is something that I've seen a couple posts out there where agents kind of not necessarily attack or something. Have you seen any, is it becoming more accepting in the real estate community, or is it something that, it's not, because honestly, real estate agents in the beginning, they were complaining about OfferPad opener. This is a couple years ago when they first rolled out. And now it's like they're kind of just a part of the market. There's a need for it in certain instances and stuff like that. It has that as some, and it's obviously there's still some whatever, when it comes to that model, but is there more acceptance with flat fee now that there's more people doing it?
I always say it's just a different business model. That's all it is. Every seller's not going to, we're not going to take over the industry.
Right.
It doesn't work for everybody. And that's okay. Realtors not as accepting, but I think once they understand that I'm not doing it to take away business, I'm seriously doing it to help sellers.
Right.
So, and I think they'll find the value in that.
Yeah.
They really do.
So, so what are those things? So in 2018, we know that since 2002, since you started, it looks a lot different on how to market a home. What are those things that are actually helping sellers sell their home so that people know that you're not shortchanging people? There are things that you do as a real estate agent to make sure your listings get out there in the best light and sell, for the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. What are those things?
So, well, first of all, you have to have Lister Pros do the photos because that usually takes care of a bunch of it. But we put it everywhere that you normally would put a traditional listing. It gets pushed out to all the websites. We market it. We do flyers. We do just listed, just sold. We door knock the neighborhood. We call houses around it. Everything that a normal traditional listing would do, we do it.
So it sounds like at the end of the day, the seller is just paying less money for somebody to list the house. Obviously, there's still that incentive on the buyer side of things. They got to pay the buyer's agent. they're just saving money on that and getting essentially the same service.
They are. They're getting the exact same service, just a lot less money.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's your business model. You making it work for whatever you for whatever your intentions are. You know. Now let's talk a little bit about ProSmart Realty. You know, previously at other brokers. Why did you choose ProSmart Realty to be your brokerage of choice?
Great question. So it's very interesting. A friend of mine, set it up and said, you need to go talk to Mike Schweikert, who is our broker. And so I talked to him, and it just made sense. And the funny thing is, he did this whole flat fee thing back in the day when he was selling real estate too. Yeah,
it's not new. It's been around for a long time.
Been around forever.
Yeah, right.
Forever. There's a market for it. Again, it's not for everybody, and a lot of people won't do it, and that's okay. And a lot of sellers may not find the value in it, and that's okay too.
Right.
But for our buyers, we give back money at closing. So let's say you come in, and I list your house.
Right.
And you're going to buy a house. So I'm going to sell your house at the $29.95, and hopefully I'm going to bring the buyer. And I work very hard to bring that buyer. So if I bring the buyer, and then you go buy another house, well, you get money at closing towards your closing costs as well. Yeah. So it's like a layered effect. And if for some reason I didn't sell your house, you still want to buy it, I still give you money back at closing.
So it sounds like at the end of the day, most sellers sell a house and then they end up buying either a bigger house or a smaller house or whatever house. But you're saying like they're saving money on the listing here, but then they use you on the buy side, they're saving money here. So, when you add up all those pieces of how they're saving money, it's a lot of money.
It's a huge savings for them. Yeah. Huge.
Wow.
And, some people will just want to sell and use their agent to buy. That's okay. That's okay. We're going to have that.
And so let's talk a little bit about, a flat fee. You get your name out. What are some of the marketing pieces that you do to kind of help? I guess this would be, as a real estate agent, it doesn't really matter what your model is, but what are some of those things for a newer agent? What would you recommend newer agents do that are just starting now in 2018? That piece of advice to help get their name out there and really drive business results in 2018. Farm the area in which you live. Get out there, walk the neighborhood, go to the HOA meetings. Do whatever you can to get your face in front of people. Tell them what you do. Never lose the opportunity to talk about real estate and know real estate in and out to the best of your ability. And what's your favorite part about being a real estate agent? You've been an agent for a long time. What do you love about it? Obviously, if you weren't passionate about people or whatever piece of the real estate industry, you wouldn't stick around this long. What do you love the most about real estate? I love real estate, period. Yeah. There almost isn't anything I don't like about it. I love the challenge of the listing appointments, and I love watching a first-time home buyer get their house. Yeah. To me, that's almost better than selling a $1 million house. To watch them get the keys, unlock the door for the first time, or someone that may have had a health crisis, or maybe they had a bankruptcy, a single mom gets a house. Yeah. That's powerful. And we get to help them do that. That's the best feeling in the world, is knowing that you got to partner with somebody and they trusted you to do it. Yeah, absolutely. So if somebody watching this, maybe an agent wants to reach out, ask you some additional questions, or somebody that's looking to buy or sell a home, how do people reach out and get a hold of you? So they can feel free to call me. My number is 602-565-0192. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon on Real Estate Pros. Janet, it was a pleasure having you in studio finally. Thanks. And we will see you guys on the next episode. Thanks.